6 o'clock. Good morning. Thank you for being with us on THV 11, streaming on THV 11 Plus. I'm Karen Fuller.
I'm Hayden Balgavy. Happy Monday morning, everybody. Let's send it over to meteorologist Tracy Bean, tracking your Monday forecast after a very rainy Sunday, and Ashley King in the house, fresh off of y'all's Mother's Day weekend.
Yeah. How was yours?
It was good.
I'm sure you guys talked about it already.
I was telling them earlier that, having kids that have real jobs, you get better presents.
Oh, yeah, I agree. This year, I was like, wow.
I know.
What's going on?
I know. So
nice?
I didn't mind it.
Yeah.
You raised them well.
Look at this.
That's right. I have to say, shout out to my daughters. They did a really good job, too.
Good.
Yeah.
I did not. It was a little too much.
Yeah, but they definitely spoiled us, that's for sure. But, I was actually surprised. I know I shouldn't say this necessarily, but I was surprised at how nice it was yesterday morning. I expected a little bit more cloud cover, not quite as much sunshine, of course, but it was not too bad the first part of Mother's Day, and then the rain came. And hopefully whatever plans you had were indoors as you're heading into the afternoon and evening. But clouds still remain, but we're just seeing some few light showers down to our south, seeing more of a northerly flow, so we're going to keep those temperatures for the highs anyway into the mid-70s. We're going to warm up into the 80s for the rest of the week, and that's going to continue to creep up. But plenty of cloud cover out there. We'll move on out of here as we're heading into the afternoon, as we are going to see those sunny skies for everybody. It is 58 in the capital city right now. Winds are around northeasterly around 8, and again continuing to see those winds from the north, but they'll shift more southerly as we're heading into tomorrow. So again, plenty of sunshine later this afternoon. The clouds will move out, and just enjoy this beautiful day. Ashley, we've got not really a lot of rain in the forecast, but we'll talk more about those next chances coming up.
Sounds good, Tracy. Also good so far this morning at 6:02 are the roadways. We're not seeing any issues right now. This is Interstate 57 at Wildwood. You can see just a beautiful sunrise right now, and a few cars that are traveling southbound on 57. Not a lot of traffic heading northbound, but that's what it looks like on 57 right now, and this is what it looks like with our live traffic map. We're not seeing any issues across Arkansas or central Arkansas right now, just all green, but we'll check this again here in a little while to see how things are going.
Developing details this morning, a Frontier flight hit and killed a person on the runway during takeoff at Denver International Airport. This happened Friday night. Airport officials say the person jumped a perimeter fence and was hit only minutes later while crossing the runway. Passenger John Athens captured this video of travelers evacuating down emergency slides. He told CBS News he saw an explosion near the wing as smoke filled the cabin and passengers began screaming. Frontier says the pilots immediately aborted takeoff and more than 200 people on board got off safely.
Tower Frontier 4345, we're stopping on the runway. We just hit somebody. We have an engine fire.
We were already taking off and we were going pretty fast, and I felt like the plane started to tilt up when out of nowhere we felt like a thud and heard like an explosion.
Airport crews quickly put the engine fire out. 12 people suffered minor injuries. 5 were taken to nearby hospitals. President Trump is heading into high-stakes talks with China's leader this week, while tensions with Iran remain unresolved.
The president says Iran's latest proposal for a longer ceasefire is, quote, totally unacceptable, though he maintains the current truce is still holding. Administration officials say he's also prepared to restart military action if needed.
This comes as an Iranian military leader warns the country is ready to defend itself against any further strikes. CBS correspondent Bradley Blackburn reports.
President Trump rejected Iran's latest response to his administration's ceasefire proposal, writing on social media, quote, I don't like it, totally unacceptable.
He is giving diplomacy every chance we possibly can before going back to hostilities, but he's absolutely prepared to do that.
Iran's response reportedly focused on ending the war on all fronts, including Israel's conflict with Hezbollah. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu told CBS News 60 Minutes the war will not end until Iran hands over its enriched uranium stockpiles, and that he believes its regime can be toppled.
The whole scaffolding of the terrorist proxy network that Iran built collapses, if the regime in Iran collapses.
An Iranian military spokesman says its forces are prepared to protect nuclear material storage sites. As Iranian state TV reports, a top military commander told the country's supreme leader Iran's response to renewed attacks would be swift, severe, and decisive. With no agreement in sight, the price of gas in the U.S. climbed to an average of $4.52 per gallon over the weekend. Now, top Trump administration officials are floating the idea of pausing the national gas tax.
All measures that can be taken to lower the price at the pump and lower the prices for Americans, this administration is in support of.
The move would save drivers roughly 18 cents per gallon, but could cost the federal government hundreds of millions of dollars per week. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Back here at home, Little Rock Mayor Frank Scott Jr. is officially running for another term. Scott announced his re-election campaign on Friday, looking to secure 4 more years leading the capital city. Scott became Little Rock's 73rd mayor in 2019 and the city's first elected black mayor. During his time in office, he expanded the mayor's powers and led the city through the COVID-19 pandemic. His administration also faced scrutiny over a record homicide rate and questions surrounding his appointed police chief. Scott won re-election in 2023 and now says he wants to keep building on his work.
Because this momentum matters, and I know just what it takes to finish what we've started. Because when Little Rock is united, we grow. And when we grow the right way...
Scott will face a challenge from Little Rock Vice Mayor B.J. Wyrick. Wyrick has represented the city's 7th ward, covering Southwest and parts of West Little Rock since 1995. She announced her mayoral campaign last September. It marks her first run for citywide office.
Arkansas Attorney General Tim Griffin is continuing to highlight cases investigated by his office's Medicaid fraud unit. Investigators say Portia Berto fraudulently billed more than $19,000 for personal care services involving her own child. Authorities also arrested Armanda Richardson, accusing her of falsely billing more than $16,000 for supportive living services while she was working another job. Griffin's office says the big, beautiful bill will soon tie some Medicaid funding to how effectively states can combat fraud. It is 6:07 right now. The fight over congressional redistricting heads into a new week, with Democrats and Republicans battling over control of the House maps ahead of the midterm elections. CBS reporter Aaron Navarro has more from the White House.
Anger boiled over at the Louisiana State Capitol Friday during a contentious redistricting hearing. Less than 2 weeks after the U.S. Supreme Court allowed the state to redraw its congressional maps, weakening the Voting Rights Act.
We want the map drawn right. That is our right.
In the Alabama State House, protesters disrupted a similar redistricting session. On the same day, Virginia's top court struck down a voter-approved plan intended to help Democrats pick up 4 U.S. House seats.
We're definitely going to try to keep fighting this battle.
21 yeas, 17 nays, Mr. President.
So the bill passes.
With less than 6 months to go before the midterms, there is a seat-by-seat battle for control of the House underway, Republicans appearing to have the advantage. The president's party could gain up to 12 more seats than Democrats if multiple southern states are allowed to finalize their maps, giving them a stronger chance to retain control of the House. In South Carolina, a majority black district, long represented by Democratic Congressman Jim Clyburn, could be eliminated.
I'm going to run, irrespective of what the makeup of the district might be.
With his overall approval rating hovering around 40%, President Trump had a message for House Republicans.
Well, they'll find a reason to impeach me, even though a lot of people said I had the greatest first term in the history of it. They'll try and impeach me, probably.
Aaron Navarro, CBS News, the White House.
Let's check in with meteorologist Tracy Bean and get the forecast for your Monday.
Well, it's not too bad. We had quite a bit of rain in a few spots, of course, for Mother's Day. The first half it wasn't so bad, and then, the rain came. Now we're left with a few clouds out there and a few light showers down south, but we are going to see plenty of sunshine later today. Still seeing that northerly flow, and that keeps our highs right around the average. 75 is what we are looking at as we're heading into tomorrow. Those winds are going to shift more southerly, and we're going to start to see those temperatures ramping up into the 80s. Now, that's not going to stop as we're heading into the weekend. You can see those mid to upper 80s as we're heading into the weekend, and rain chances do start to pop back into the forecast by Sunday. Very low chances, but we're going to keep an eye on it this week to let you know what to expect.
And traffic is still looking good around Central Arkansas. We don't have any issues right now on our roads, but we're going to check it again here in just a few minutes. For now, everything is looking green across Central Arkansas.